big and get in the flow, yes. Wow! Yes. Oh my God. He is your champion, ladies and gentlemen.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
First thing in the morning at Cypress Bend Landing, Toledo Bend Reservoir. 50 guys hoping that they can get out there and blast them for one more day at one of the greatest places on earth. This is day number 3 of our ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite. And this is Bassmaster Live for the next 6 hours.
Hey, we just need about 16 to do it tomorrow, but we want 25 to go catch the man.
We're going to game plan a little bit for it and play with the weather that we've got. There's no wind right now. That's very good for me. It really helps me with the positioning, and we'll see what we can do. Tomorrow I know we got some wind coming in, and actually I kind of look forward to the change. So hopefully we can have a really good day today and set ourselves up to be in position on the final day. That's all you can ask for. It's be in contention going into the final day of any Bassmaster event. Whether it's an elite event or the classic, that's what we live for.
Well, Tommy, it almost looked like KVD had a fever. A hot, sultry
morning, sultry southern morning down here on a Saturday from the Toyota Bassmaster Studios, where it is crisp and cool and clean and comfortable.
Right, as always.
We are going to spend our day, though, on Toledo Bend down there. Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona. Day number 3, and Kevin VanDam has so far managed to hold it together and sort of run the show so far. But I think it's still too early to say he's an absolute shoo-in.
Gosh, I hate to say this, but I think it's fair to say he seems like he was probably the shakiest that we spoke to after the weigh-in.
After day 2 weigh-in.
Yeah, let's put it this way, Tommy Sanders. You take away his 2 giant bass from day 1 and day 2. He's about shooting par to where guys like, really Chris Lane's the one to watch for the simple fact that all of his bass are the same quality size.
All right, so take the 8. Of course, you can't. Yeah, Mike Sukon's here. We have to point that out to you. We got Steve Bowman out on the water. Ron Moore probably will be out there.
And I think we have a special feature coming today, gang. I don't know if you were able to read your recent article that you put up on .com. What was it called? What was the title?
What are you talking about?
What was the title of the photos that you?
Good with the bad?
The Good with the Bad? One of the finest things you've ever put together. I'd like to get your take on that.
Wow.
Such.
All right. While we thumb through the website trying to find that, let's take a look at the weigh-in. What went down at Toledo Bend on day number 2? There you go. Stephen Browning, the Arkansas angler. Been a little up and down this season, but always seems to do very good in the state of Louisiana and always does good here at Toledo Bend in day 2. Woo! He did the best of anyone with the biggest bass of the day.
That was about the third cast of the morning, and it.
But they say that's bad luck to catch a big one that early.
No, you got to get off and get rolling, man. That's all. You know, that's what's been kind of holding me back these last couple of tournaments. I've just not been able to get going, and yesterday morning got going real well. This morning got going even better. So, you know, I'm pumped up.
How about a B.A.S. right here? You know, if you're going to have a big bass beatdown, you're going to have Ish Monroe in the mix. Not only that, gaining each day so far this tournament, weighing in 24 pounds and 10 ounces yesterday.
Man, this place is just awesome. I am like, I had so much fun today. It just seems like every time you set the hook, it's a big one. You know, when I say a big one, we're talking 3+ pounder, and today was just phenomenal.
Hey, Hank Cherry won the big All-Star blowout up in Michigan a couple of years ago, back in 2014. He's roaring back here on Toledo Bend, doing something different than anyone else. We may be going to find out what that is today. Here's what he did yesterday.
Where I'm at, I'm by myself. I'm not seeing anybody. Just taking my time, dropping my bait around, having a good time. I'm missing the family. Man, I love catching these big Toledo Bend bass.
About Chris Lane, one of the best closers in the game. When this guy sniffs one, this guy generally in the last few years, well, he wins one. And the scary thing right now on Toledo Bend, he is catching them his way, the way he likes to catch them. Chris Lane, all consistency, over 23 pounds.
It's starting to come together a little bit. But, you know, the one thing about it was I said, man, I'm going to blast them early. I said, there's schooling everywhere. And I go down there, and I don't even catch a fish. There's nothing blowing up. There's 3-foot crashers in there. and I just couldn't get anything going, so I turned around and ran the completely other side of the lake. And it took me a while, but once you get one on it, you just keep going all day long, and it's the most amazing explosion and fun that I've ever done.
I meant 23 pounds each day, Tommy
Chris
Sanders.
Lane's
Sorry.
won him a classic in Louisiana, but then again, so is this guy, plus 3 other classics. The man on top of the mountain for so many years, Kevin VanDam, holding it together and getting to 50 pounds on day 2.
You know, I started out with Wes Miller, who hasn't been the luckiest camera guy for me at all, and it's Friday the 13th, and he tells me his hotel room is 1313. When all that's going on, then the wind switches out of the north. I can't get a bite this morning for 2 hours, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. It's the curse of Wes coming back. But you know, we fought through it and ended up catching some fish. And you know, if I can fish through Wes with me all day on Friday the 13th and catch 20 pounds, God, no telling what I'm going to catch tomorrow.
No, battling through the wind, battling through the bad luck and superstition, but Kevin VanDam going to have to battle 50 more guys today if he wants to stay on top of the pack there. And Chris Lane, you say the guy to watch today. We'll be watching him.
No doubt about it.
Hank Cherry-ish Monroe, Stephen Browning with the big one yesterday. Let's take a look at our playing field. It is so vast, so huge, so many places to go and fish.
It really is, Tommy Sanders, and here's the interesting thing is really the guys that we are following here on day number 3, Kevin VanDam, Chris Lane, Hank Cherry, and Ish Monroe. You rarely hear this in a Bassmaster Elite Series tournament. None of these guys are fishing around any competitors. I mean, they'll see one here, maybe one there throughout a day, but for the most part, they are completely left alone, which tells you the vastness of this body of
Absolutely.
water.
We've had that trouble at every event so far, not so today. Let's get right now out to Kevin VanDam, not too far from the launch.
Let's kind of break down right now Kevin VanDam's early morning shad spawn thing that he exploited on day number 1, catching about 18 to 20 pounds in the first hour. Well, that was non-existent yesterday. Caught a couple small keepers, put one good one in the boat earlier today, but key word, only caught one on his shad spawn thing. But VanDam will tell you those are bonus fish. Those shallow water fish are all bonus. It appears the rest of the day he will concentrate on that offshore structure.
There we see VanDam making a quick run on the left. Waiting for him to get set up and start fishing again at his new spot. And Chris Lane today in a new place from where he was. We watched him a lot of the time yesterday.
Exactly right. Chris Lane was kind of crushed by wind in one of his areas that he had a lot of schooling fish on day number 1. Yesterday he said there was waves just punishing that area. Well, he got back there today and has already, unofficially we have information, already has a 5-fish. Such, a 5-fish limit in the boat?
Chris Lane, yes, sir.
Yes, I will tell you, my vibe is VanDam will have his hands full with Chris Lane for the next 2 days. The reason why, boy, the way Chris Lane fished yesterday and listened to him last night, he is all in committed.
Totally confident.
To just getting 5 to 7 bites a day.
Yeah, real fast start this morning, you know, completely different from yesterday. Yesterday was 3.5-foot rollers. It was like this the first day, and the shad were spawning in here and everything was happening and the bass were blowing up. They weren't blowing up this morning. The only thing that were blowing up was on our topwater bait. So the shad are still here, the bass are still here. You know, we got 5 in the box, and it allowed, you know, what that does is it allows me to really, you know, that 10:30 to 1:30 is a key time for me, and having what we have in the box, I can really fish slow and go for the gusto, because Toledo Bend's got them, and you know, you got to try to catch 5 of them, and trying to catch the best bass fisherman in the world is a tall mountain to climb. There's only one way to do it, and that's catch big fish.
You can see the big flotilla respecting Chris Lane's space. You see him out beyond the grass there.
Locked up tighter than a drum. And if I could really talk about what he was saying, he's fishing this area for a limit in the morning. And if you kind of hung with us yesterday here on Bassmaster Live, taking a look at that catch earlier, he's throwing a topwater walking bait right there, but that is not his meat gig. The rest of the day, he's covering water with a whopper plopper. Very, very, very popular topwater bait. But he goes to that whopper plopper later in the day and basically just covers water to fish for individual bass, whether they're on bluegill beds, little points of grass, cypress trees. This is his potatoes. Later today, we'll see the meat. Bassmaster Live.
One of the 5 fish that Chris Lane has in the box, a limit early today, and of course Kevin VanDam pointed to the fact on day 1 his early limit certainly contributed to his almost 30-pound stringer of fish that he had. So it's obviously a big freeing element for all those guys, as Chris Lane just told us a minute ago.
And seeing, Chris Lane right now, Such, where he's benefited, obviously, for the rest of the weekend is the high water conditions. Where I think VanDam's at a, not a little bit, but a big disadvantage, and I'm going to say this throughout the day, gang, if you're just tuning in with us, where VanDam's at a distinct disadvantage in this tournament is this is not one of those Tennessee River offshore tournaments where VanDam has 40 spots to go to. Okay? VanDam has really been practicing every single day because, number one, he does not spend a lot of time on this lake and does not have a lot of history fishing offshore like he does on Kentucky Lake, Gunnersville, where he can go to, areas where he has so much history on. He's got probably 4 spots and is having to find more throughout this event, which, don't get me wrong, he's the best at finding those offshore spots, but he does not have a huge rotation like he does on other areas.
What do you make of him saying this morning, I hope the wind blows on day 4? Is that whistling past the graveyard a little bit there?
VanDam wants as much current ripping through this. And look, there's a lot of current running through this lake because they're pushing water out of it as high as it is right now. But VanDam says if you combine them pulling water and wind, it helps him and it hurts those topwater guys.
Topwater guys.
Yes.
Oh boy, my day has been pretty trying. I've missed more than I caught, but I'm going to go with the theory I've gone with all week. The ones that I missed are little ones. There's no wind. There seems to be plenty of bait, but it's scattered up. It's not in big piles. The birds are getting fat because it's up there close to the grass. And my dock down. I had one magical dock back there that I don't know if I hit it wrong time or I'm just going to go
Let me talk about Hank Cherry. We're having a little problem where he's at right there. We're going to have that all day, gang. We did yesterday. It's going to happen again. There's no doubt about that. But as I sit here and suck on this juice box, number one, I love juice boxes. I've loved them for decades. If you want that I love juice boxes. Hawaiian Punch, it doesn't matter what it is. But what Hank Cherry is concentrating on, now get ready here, the reason he's fishing in this area, and a lot of you locals that fish this lake a lot, you will know the area San Miguel. The reason why he chose to fish this area, there was a very large tournament that went on there a week ago, I believe, 10 days ago, whatever it was. And he said, look, man, I'm not going to lie. I'm fishing released fish. I am fishing for released fish that are moving away from where they were released. He caught a limit. Steve Bowman was out there yesterday, a limit in the first hour and a half off of one boat dock. A lot of folks want to know what he's using. I'm going to start using a bladed jig and a jig. That's been his 1-2 punch. And later in the day, we'll kind of break down what he's doing after he catches his limit when he goes flipping. We'll break that down, Bassmaster Live earlier today, Hank Cherry.
Things is a little slower today. His production decreased by 5 pounds from day 1 to day 2.
I feel like I'm giving too much out right now.
Oh, really?
No?
No? I don't think so.
I was a little surprised when he said that he's fishing in San Miguel and not seeing another competitor. Take and see if we can't slide back down the lake. We got a pretty solid signal right now with Chris Lane and gang. Whenever we get a good signal, you will be with the anglers today. Promise. Chris Lane, Bassmaster Live.
You know, we just switched up, you know, throwing that bigger bait, and it's a real aggressive approach. Doesn't mean you can't catch a 5-pounder on a littler bait, and kind of matching the hatch here. The shad in here about, I'd say about that big, and that's about how big this bait is. Just walking it real easy. And I agree, you know, big fish hit big baits, but I've caught a lot of big fish on little baits too, and sometimes, you know, in the heat like it is, they'll have a tendency to like that, and it's flat. You can see how flat calm it is. It's it'll have a tendency to, the smaller bait will have a tendency to get those bigger strikes. But I'm not going to throw it very long, I promise. This point comes up here. It's got a real hard bottom. This is probably one of the better little points on the stretch. Right here, you can see the reeds come way out. It drops off of that point. I mean, that could be a 5 or a 6-pounder right there. Even when they've come up, you know, I've seen 1 or 2 chasing single bait, and you throw it in there and they don't hit it right off the bat like you think they would. It takes them a second for some reason, and then they'll come and get it. So I'm trying to work it all the way back to the boat. That's hard to do because everything looks so good. But to catch 1 or 2 more, you know, 4+ pounders out of here would be Chris, you idiot. That's what you know, you just can't, you gotta wait till you feel them, you know. I mean, I sat there and watched my bait. It would never even went under. But I pulled back and they won't, you know, they won't come back. I mean, they're a little finicky right now. And that was just my own fault, to where if you leave it there, hopefully I get the chance to show you that. If you leave it there, 90% of the time they come back and get it. It's like they come up and smell it there for a second, and if it smells good, they eat it. But you gotta leave it in front of them. We've had completely different conditions. It's crazy this week. Hard south wind in practice, and all 3 days. And the first day of the tournament, it was just like this. And then yesterday was a hard northeast wind, just crashing waves in here. Couldn't even fish it. And then now today's completely, you know, flat for the most part. We got a little ripple on the water, and you know, we're gonna need that this afternoon to get some of those gollywhopper strikes, I guess would be a good name for them. Because when they get it, they get it.
Got a nice little steering section out there.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the people here in Louisiana and Texas are fantastic, man. They respect the water that you're fishing. They treat you well. They feed you well. I mean, it's just you know, it's just fantastic over here. Of course, we're on the Texas side of Toledo Bend right now, you know, we'll work our way to the Louisiana side. But what a great fishery and what a great job they've done. You know, in the meeting they gave us a stocking program of what they've done and how many fish they stock in here every year. And it's just been, they've done a great job. You know, they've done a fantastic job actually. And I think the weights show it. We need to catch one to show them how much we like it. Fire away.
Please give us more giant Toledo Bend fish explosions on the topwater bait.
You know what? All I can say to them guys is, and I hope, but stay tuned. Might not be when we're live, but hopefully we can get one or two while we are. Well, I need, one of Zona's got that saying, what is it? Is it, oh boy?
Say it.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, one of them. I think the fans like that. I think that, you know, I know when I've watched it, you know, it gets me pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear you.
Oh, I hear you.
Try it once though, oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. Does not work.
You know, it's funny that I'm sitting here. I remember our elite tournament, first elite, 2006, when the elite series started, and we were fishing Sam Rayburn just way over there on the other side of this lake. And I remember it was about this time of year, and I was throwing topwater, and I had like 18 pounds the first day, but I lost like an 8, a 10, just massive bass, and I couldn't figure out why I was losing them. And what I'm doing now, I'm throwing 50-pound strand braid. Back in the day when I first started, I was throwing it on monofilament, and my dad was actually a co-angler back then, and he went down, we were camping, and he went down way out there on about a normal cast that I was making, and I set the hook, and he's like, hey, I don't even feel nothing. So I learned, you know, you learn the hard way, you know, and actually VanDam was leading that event. So you live and you learn, and, you know, throwing braided line on long casts with topwater is, it's a necessity nowadays, because it's really the only way you're going to get a good hook set on the fish. Got a little overcast right now. That'll have a tendency to bring one of them big girls up too. But I think I'm gonna put this little thing down and really
Not much. Same size as the crankbait. So far today has been really pretty slow. I started on my shad spawn program and got one good, I had a couple of bites, only caught one, but it was a good one. You know, I pulled up to a spot, you know, this is the spot I caught a 7-pounder, got the hook in my hand yesterday, and
You know, there's boats all around the area fishing all these points that I was fishing yesterday, so it's Saturday. What is that? It's not a fish. Piece of a tree. A little structure rearranging.
See that one down there? See, they're still out. They're out just a little bit. And, okay. You know, I don't know how long we'll give this little stretch right here. I just saw one blow up off this other reed patch up here. But, you know, we might go run and hit a few points, try to get a bonus fish or two. But I still think there's another big one in here. 5 or a 6 pounder, just to, you know, I had a couple of them hit me the first day and I didn't catch them. And so I know that there's a big fish in here. We got one about 4 pounds in there. If we could get a couple more like that while we're waiting on that other deal to start up, then I'd just consider them bonuses.
I don't know why
bonus fish.
Always decide they gotta come around the other side. They don't want to be seen by their buddies in the crowd.
Was just fascinating to watch Kevin VanDam work over the offshore ends of a couple of long points yesterday. Just every facet of it, every way he had to approach it, what casts were worth his time, which casts where he couldn't get out there far enough, to the arsenal he used. It was really an education for everyone.
It was, and you know, another thing that was really cool about that yesterday was it was typical getting a school ignited, and you know, that as much as we broadcasted him hooking his hand and stuff like that, that was actually a really critical moment. He catches an 7.5 pounder, and in his haste to get back in there, like we've seen in so many tournaments when he's fishing offshore, you heard him say this is the most critical moment when you hook one out there deep and get that school fired up. He basically had to, you know, get the hook out of his hand, and that school really never fired again, except for a lot of small ones. But you know, there's something I want to talk. Such, I'm going to throw you about Chris Lane and Ish Monroe, and how they've really kind of, and you can really throw Dean Rojas in there, and I'm sure there's some guys on here in our chat room, how they really broke the mold of throughout years, and you still see it to this day, guys that go out and throw a topwater bait in their tournament, or not even in a tournament, they throw it for the first hour of fishing and then lay it down and start worm fishing or crankbait or fishing out deeper. You know, there's a lot of guys like your Chris Lanes that will live with a topwater bait no matter if it's sunny, cloudy, windy, calm, and just fish for a very, very, very low percentage of bites. But it almost seems like if they lock that topwater in their bait, whether it be a whopper plopper or a spook or a frog, that if they throw that thing all day on certain lakes that we go to, and they put 5 fish in the boat, they're going to have a heck of a stringer. To where, I guess what I'm saying is, a topwater bait has always been a meat, a meat and potatoes thing, to where you throw it 1 hour in the morning, and Grandpa said go throw it at 1 hour
at midday. Never at midday.
Never throw. A lot of these guys that are really, 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 really good with a topwater bait, the reason they're so good with a topwater bait is they never put it down, is what I'm saying.
Point well taken.
Bassmaster
That being said, hopefully we get to see Chris Lane all day long. That is our fingers crossed on kind of wish right now. We're going to take a quick break here in just a minute. Haven't seen some stuff going on this morning. No one's really lighting it up too big yet, but Chris Lane does have the limit in the boat. Actually, I guess you could say he has lit it up comparatively to the rest of the field. Taking the early lead away from Kevin VanDam. Hank Cherry doing something completely different up there. Ish Monroe, I'm hoping we get to see on camera. He's one of the other guy you mentioned in there with Chris Lane. So a lot of stories working today. And again, we got 50 guys out there trying to make it to the final day on Toledo Bend. That's where they all want to be.
KVD, Kevin VanDam.
He lives in a haunted house. It's Friday the 13th. His room is 1313. The wind's blowing. I go to my first spot, I don't get a bite. I go to my second spot, I don't get a bite. I mean, I had a horrible start to the day, so to be able to come in with a decent bag today, with all that going against me, I feel pretty good about it, I mean, I got a hook in my hand, but it was also connected to an 8-pounder, so I can't complain. Boom! And I got a 10XD in my hand.
The ARE Truck Cabs Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend is brought to you by Lorenz, Toyota, Berkeley, Triton Boats, and by GoPro.
29 pounds, 3 ounces!
Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lowrance winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the Ultimate Upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha B.A.S.S SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. B.A.S.S SHO. The pack is growing.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkeley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
If you
love bass fishing? Then show your support by joining B.A.S.S today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing. With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now. Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com. Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic Champion Randy Howe. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more. You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Our elite anglers have been fishing a little less than 2 hours this morning, day 3 of our ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite on Toledo Bend on the border between Texas and Louisiana. Already before the 2 hours up. Chris Lane right there, whom we're watching, have been watching. Got a limit in the boat, nothing huge, but enough to take over the lead from Kevin VanDam, who held it the start of the day.
I don't think it's the size that we're going to need today, and you might be able to hit a point or something out on the main lake that's still got 1 or 2 big ones up, and that's what we kind of need to go for now. I mean, we've got a limit, got a decent limit, not what we need, but we still got all day to upgrade. And we've made a pass through here, and we didn't get a bite, so it ain't gonna be long. We're just gonna run probably main lake, I mean, that's what I've been focusing on. Everything's main lake. I mean, the river's right there. I haven't gone in the backs of these creeks just because I think the fish are pushing out, and that's usually where they come to first. So, one of the craziest things I think for this week would be water temperature 69 in practice, 83 in the tournament. It's come up that much. So we've had to adapt and have had to adjust, but you know what? It's been fun, and I think today could be another fun day. It already has been, but we'll try to meet your guys' request here and go get some of them gollywoppers. Hit one more cast right here in the sweet spot, and then that should be it. Yep, we're rolling. You ready? I've given it a fair shot. One thing that I was hoping would come in here would be
felt pretty good there, Rick. I said it felt pretty good there first. Thought I had a bite.
Had a lot of questions yesterday. VanDam's throwing a 10XD. A lot of questions were, how deep is that bait getting compared to like a 6XD, which generally a 6 will touch 17 to 20 feet, depending on the line you're using. But I believe Kevin said yesterday he was cranking, excuse me, with 17-pound line. I thought I heard him say that.
Yeah, he did.
We'll try to find out real quick what depth he's trying to touch with that bait.
Again, just one fish today for KVD. Pretty good one, though. 3 to 4 pound range there. early this morning. Take a quick look at it for you. Again, day one, he loaded up, got himself an early limit, the shad bite related catch, and trying to replicate that yesterday. It didn't work out. A couple of small ones. He did manage this one earlier today.
Yeah, you know, as Kevin said it, gosh, that's a
big one.
That's a fun bite.
That was a bite. Oh my God, did he just... Look at there. Look at that one. You think he's been eating some shad? That's a good start. I don't know why it hadn't happened any sooner. There is 10 billion shad here. Fatty. Less like that.
Wow. Dude, that scared the crap out of me.
That almost scared me too.
Dude, I was tight on it and it made me shake.
And that was earlier today. That was the only one Kevin VanDam was able to manage there.
I can get it to about 27, 28 on a really good cast. If I need to. You know, I'm fishing all depth zones though. That 6XD is good for catching big fish. It's a big profile. The 8 and the 10, all of them are super good baits, so. Hey, come on.
Had a vibe that was going to be a problem this weekend.
You could hear him this morning saying, you know, it's Saturday, talking a little bit more about the people who are around it. There's more of them today, obviously, and it's to be expected.
Yeah, and one of the things that Kevin that he deals with more than anybody on the Elite Series is, read a great article, I think it was from Steve Wright last night, where Hackney was talking about and said, there's a lot of benefits of being KVD, and there's a lot of negatives of being KVD, and generally the negatives are what happens on the water. And gang, if you're hanging with us online, you cannot fathom how many people follow that guy during an event.
We never get a sense of it from looking
You
at the
never
tape,
get a
know.
sense of it watching this. And right when he picks up his trolling motor, they cannibalize the spots that he fishes. And you might be
Really?
sitting here watching this thing thinking, well, it might happen once or twice a day. No, it happens.
That's what I hate.
There you go.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't wait.
No, they join.
Yeah, they enter the tournament.
Oh. Bite.
And we talk about the Tennessee River,
sure,
and all of its lakes as being the heartbeat of where that happens.
Chickamauga, the whole story out there.
Yes, I would go, hold on. Kentucky Lake, Chickamauga, Wilson, Pickwick, Guntersville. Is, I like to say, that's the Fenway Park of what we're talking
Absolutely.
about. But this lake right here has been ranked right up there for the same thing.
A funny comment he made earlier. So they get back behind the camera because they don't want their buddies to see them.
Yeah, they don't want their buddies to see them in the background, so their buddies make fun of them on some forum somewhere on the Texas chat board. Which, I'll be honest with you, a lot of anglers call them out. You know what I mean? But here's what I can tell you. As pathetic of things that you could think of, the most of it happens to that dude right there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really the only reason we have some semblance of parity in this, because he has to wear a straitjacket when he's out there, basically.
Right.
Schooling on the trolling motor. Hydrowave's doing its job. Little one.
Great idea from one of our people on the forum. So why not shame them publicly? Send guys over to take pictures of their boat, make a gallery of shame. I'm not going to lie. That would be fantastic. I have a tendency to like the ones that follow him Thursdays and Fridays. And then when their derby starts, their 11-boat derby starts on Saturday, I'm magically sitting on the juice.
Yeah. Coincidence? Most likely. Now, not all these people we're seeing in the background are what we're talking about. I mean, there's a majority of them are very considerate.
95% of them
absolutely
that follow VanDam around or Iconelli around or Ski, 95% of them get it. They get it.
Yeah.
They're not there to steal anything.
The ones we're talking about, the ones who don't want to be seen out there, are the ones.
The ones who don't want their buddies to see them in the background. Those are the cockroaches.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just
free country, man.
Just around these docks. Almost. One cast. Perfect setup. Into the grass. How'd you like that? Don't even think about it, Ronnie.
A lot of folks want to know what Hank Cherry's been doing later in the day. He's really had a 1-2 punch, gang. If you look at these little islands of bushes hooked up.
They're there.
Dang it. That ain't gonna work. I blew that one. Bad.
It's all right. That's just a little fish, Hank. A little bitty thing. Heck with that thing.
And they broke my rod.
Hank Cherry's lost a lot of big fish the last 2 days. Day one, he had a giant stringer, still had a 2.5 pounder in
Water
a stringer.
clarity has been, just all depends on which direction the wind's been blowing, you know. You can have really clear water down one stretch that you fished, and then you go there the next day and it's just complete mud. And back there where we were just fishing, the wind had been howling in there and they hadn't pulled any water. So, you know, from what I can see, you come down here and this water looks perfect. So we might get that big one up here.
What Cherry's been looking for on those islands of bushes, he said every one of those islands has been battered by the storms and the wind the last 2 months. And he said there will be a depression on one side of those islands.
And I think if we catch a big one on this
Standby.
early, it'd be a bonus. You know, I think it'd be a bonus fish. Because they haven't been really kicking off on this till about 10:30. Best thing to do is not look at it. You can watch it, but as far as me, man, I'll wait till they pull back because it's unbelievable, and I hope they get to see it at home today. But here again, it's the mouth of a major creek. That's what I've been trying to concentrate on. That's got grass and points. So this one's set up perfect. Like I said, this is right where I caught about a 7-8 pounder, I guess it was, down there off the tip of it. That grass comes way out, and I mean, it's just, this gives you the willies waiting on it.
But Hank Cherry made the comment that one side of those islands of bushes would be a foot deeper. Hang on, I'm gonna wait till Chris is done.
I think you can still catch some fish without the wind on this, but I think them big ones really like it with just a little bit of ripple.
So the water pressure digs out one part.
Yeah,
of it,
basically it makes a trench or a depression against, he's got several different islands of bushes. And he said the storms and the wind have cut out a depression on one certain side of those islands. And he said there will be one key bush and stay with me here, gang, if you ever go to Toledo Bend and you're going to flip these bushes, they all look the same from above the water. But he said if you stare at your graph, one of those bushes or two of them per island will be a foot deeper. And he said it is clockwork how every one of those islands you will get bit on that one deeper bush, and then you can run to the next one. And he feels that is from the storms that we've had the last few months. But that being said, a lot of guys want to know what else he's been doing. He's got a deal later in the day, gang, that I really don't want to give out yet. In the mornings, he's been fishing retreads up in San Miguel. He will then go flip, and then he has a later day gig that he said he just doesn't want to quite give out yet. If we see him doing it later today, we'll do
Give it out for him.
We'll do what I call a deep dive.
There you go. Now let me ask you this: if you've got the family or your buddies, and you're headed first week of June, Toledo Bend, what would you get ready to go and do? What would be the maximum amount of fun in your view? What should you prepare for?
I'm gonna throw that topwater bait Chris Lane's doing. I'm gonna go flip some deep bushes, then crank a 10XD out on a point.
Where did you get that idea?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. Boy, I hate to say this, Such.
But you did.
I hate to say this. Good service thus far this morning. I shouldn't have said it.
No.
Sorry. Bassmaster Live.
Stifle yourself, Dayzona.
Give it to me. Come on. Give it to me.
Stifle yourself, Dayzona. Jeez.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. They don't seem real happy.
Kevin VanDam still a little ahead of the time when he kind of locked in on him yesterday.
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
a little bit ahead of that
No,
time.
this is, I mean, I hate to say it. This is kind of verbatim what yesterday morning was. And we talked about it yesterday morning. Fireworks generally started 9:30, 10-ish.
Exactly. And you called it, and so it was.
I'm talking locked up.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my gosh. Watch out.
Oh. Ooh, ooh.
Woo! Share my lunker. Ha! There you go, Dad. There's your 8-pounder. Over 8. Thank you, Jesus. Your big butt in there.
That's what I tell my girlfriend.
Woo!
Get your big butt in there, girl. Are you breathing a little excited?
Oh my God. Master flipper. Oh my gosh. I just thinking to myself, I was like, Brim's got it. It went doot doot. So I just let it sit there and let it go back to the bottom, and it went. I was like, I ain't no Brim. Oh Jesus. Let's do that again. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
They just keep fishing.
I know it. I know it. They're not gonna get it. No chance. All right.
Yep.
Gang, real quick on what Hank Cherry's flipping. Strike King slither rig, basically a little punch rig down to a, I believe it's a V&M J bug.
You reckon? You reckon? When your fifth one's probably a 9-pounder, 10-pounder?
I put her in at 8.
Yeah. I would say that takes you to 20 pounds pretty fast. Oh gosh. Yeah.
But I've never shot a bass over 10 pounds, man.
I think you just did. Like legitimately. I think you just did. That's as big as the one I caught it. Chickamauga. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I got a big mess too. I'm pretty sure the mess just came undone.
Wow. About that, Tommy Sanders.
We almost went to break.
Yeah, we almost went to break.
About 2 seconds before that happened.
And we were also talking about how bad it sucks in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're onto it, I'll tell you right now. Our instincts are working.
2 words, dialed in.
Dialed in, that's exactly right. Hank Cherry there knocking out, by his estimation, maybe an 8-pounder.
I'd say all
Every
of
bit of
7
that?
3/4.
Every bit of that. Okay. Good stuff there from Hank Cherry. Going to take himself the lead with that right there. With a good margin over Chris Lane. We've got plenty more coming, obviously, today. Bassmaster Live.
That was awesome.
The ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend is brought to you by Humminbird, Minn Kota, Skeeter Boats, Mercury, Hook, Nitro, and by Yamaha.
Days, it's funny. I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. And we have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
The competition is fierce, and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package, including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The classic and each individual elite event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at Bassmasterfantasy.com.
Come on now. There's that one right there.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more.
You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend, brought to you live by Toyota.
Bassmaster Live heading into our second hour of coverage. We've got 6 hours total today, 1 down, 5 to go. On Toledo Bend with 50 anglers out there trying to make it into the top 12 today. We're wondering when we're going to have our first big, giant, oversized, largemouth bass of the day. And we just had it right before the break. If you're just joining us on a Saturday morning, you can bet we'll play that one for you again. Hank Cherry knocking out a huge bass, and now with a substantial almost 4-pound lead over Chris Lane, who'd already had a limit in the boat. It looked like he was the man going with all the momentum earlier today, but one fish, that's the nature of this place.
Absolutely right, man. And that's how you can make vicious, crazy swings in a tournament like this. VanDam did it yesterday. Chris Lane did it. Back to Hank Cherry. You should see Ish Monroe right around the corner. Hank Cherry, Bassmaster Live.
See, if they would have been on my dock, I wouldn't have been right there at that time. Oh man, I'm feeling like I want 2 more of them. No, I mean, you know, after having 2 bad years and struggling pretty much to my own doing, I quit doing things my way. My way is not spending 12, 14 hours practice day, spending 6 to 8 hours, really good days, concentrating, trying to figure out what works best for me, not everybody else. And I've been doing that this year and sticking with it and just having faith in my abilities and being comfortable and just being open-minded, not having to go throw a jerkbait everywhere or throw just a jig on docks. They caught some doing that. I've just said, you know, you got to be more versatile, you know, because your competition is. And so, I mean, there's bumps in the roads. I'm learning as we go, but, you know, this is the first time I've ever used flipping as a method of catching them in a tournament. You know, and I'll say it again, the guy that taught me to flip is one of the best, in my opinion, in the world. It's great. I mean, not Hackney, he's great too, but Scroggins, he just, you know, told me a lot about it, because when I went to Florida, I was always scared to pick up a flipping stick. I was more comfortable with the Cinco and the jerkbait and all that. And I had every intentions here of throwing the jerkbait. But I called my wife the last day and told her, it's hitting one of those where I'm going to go for a check. I feel like I can. And I know there's plenty of fish in there in these flooded islands and these depressions that run in through out of here. I don't know if they've always been here or they're just created because of high water. So, you know, that one off in the bush there a minute ago is bothering me right now. But I mean, it's just a good feeling.
Hey, do you want to talk about your bait today?
You
want to talk about your bait at all?
I mean, this is just basic slip rig, punch rig, whatever. It's a Strike King slip rig. I mean, in my opinion, they make the best one. And I'm putting a variety of baits on it. This one just happens to be, you know, sponsored by Cream Lures, and I love those people to death. This one just happens to be the one that one of my buddies designed, Jacob. I think he calls it a J-bug. But what I've been doing is making a lap with that bait, and then I'll come back with a bait we have. It's called Cream Same Thing Crawl. I don't keep it hooked up on the deck, and I'm going to put a new rod for it now because I had to switch over to this because it's a rod. The reason they call it that, it's just they call it the same thing line because there's a lizard and a crawl, a creature bait, all the same. Just everybody else is, instead of having a name for it, it's just the same thing. You know, like you have, we got the same thing.
Did I hear him say that this is the first time He's
ever flip
flipping
in a tournament.
Flipping in a tournament?
Are you getting this, Such?
Did you get
He
that?
has laid out a whole story for you here.
That's amazing.
The whole thing is it's completely changed his approach, the way he works a tournament. That was fascinating.
Yet, but hold on, wait a minute. Yet he's one of the best dock fishermen, which is in a way skipping, pitching, stuff like that. I think that's very. I'm just kind of blown away by that statement. I mean, he's a phenomenal dock fisherman, dude. He lives on Lake Norman, fishes Lake Wiley. That is the epicenter in South Carolina, North Carolina. Looking at some of his catches earlier today, but traditional, flipping trees and bushes, I guess that surprises me. Bassmaster Live.
Jig. I swim a jig. I swim a jig has a pointy head.
Well, this is what, of course,
Hot
we
line
said all
down.
yesterday that doing something that we can't really explain what he's doing. We can't tell it yet. And you rolled it out this morning.
Yeah,
the way he starts his day anyway.
What he's really been doing every single morning is starting near an area where a lot of fish had been released, whether he's fishing grass or cypress trees or boat docks. And after that is when he's gone flipping. Well, this morning, that first game plan did not work real well, and that instantly put him flipping. He said, look, he would not have caught that bass right there had he been catching them on his docks and stuff like that. So really kind of worked out in his favor. He did lose what appeared to be one big fish flipping.
I'm pretty sure that bite I had is one of the ones I lost the first day.
But he is fishing a very certain kind of dock later in the day.
What do you mean,
A very certain kind of dock that are not fished very often on Toledo Bend, that he has seen some big ones follow his jig in, that he's like, dude, they are giants. Giants. And this is also a guy that is, as bad as our wind was having 25 to 30 pound stringers in
Reckon that
practice.
was it's all gone. That's a pretty good sign someone's pulling on the string.
Kevin VanDam and the crew.
Right now it's just a slip rig.
Hey, if you'd watched the live show, you'd know.
Brian
I'll
Mason
switch to
there,
McCraw in a minute.
Yeah, just
Or
yucking
two.
it up over there.
It's kind of hard to switch after that big thing ate. Hmm? It happens. Seems like you get more bites with the crawl, but they're not as big. I don't know. Crash. Don't know why I can't get a bite, though, is the deal. I knew it was going to be bad. That boat's sitting right where I lost the big one yesterday. Deal with it.
Are we going to see Kevin VanDam actually throw a Texas rig worm? Because I got news. He did that yesterday
He
for,
did.
I think, 3 casts.
He did. Threw a lot of stuff at him out there.
Him throwing a worm is like him filing his own teeth with a steel grater.
I'm tired of them stupid vines.
That bad, huh?
Okay. Hey, this way. See, if we don't get another bite flipping, I know we can pull those two out on the docks. Well, I don't say I know. I would like to think.
Jerry talked about his struggles the last couple of years. Started out with a bang. Started 2013 with a great effort at the Bassmaster Classic on Grand Lake and had a shot at winning it on the final day there, and a huge disappointment, and wound it up on a bang as well, winning the All-Star postseason event on Muskegon and White Lake up in Michigan.
There's just the little ones down there biting it.
What poundage did they credit Cherry with on that bass, Sue?
Well, I thought they put in 8-0.
8-0? Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do. You ready? We're going to obviously all watch the weigh-in together.
Sure.
As we always do in
yeah.
the break room
With
later
the
today.
mug of cider and everything. Yeah.
I say let's. You know, gambling is not legal here in the Bassmaster studio. But
No, it
let's
isn't.
put a little pot up here today. I'm going to go 7 pounds, 12 ounces. Suit, you want to document this? I'm going 7, 12.
Oh, it's documented.
Give me one, Such.
Now
Suchi
yourself.
McGrunderson.
I don't know if he was just hitting the 8 mark because he said, you know, here, Dad, here's the 8.
No. Well, there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of excitement in there.
What's that? What's that?
7-14.
7-14.
I got
Don't price is right, me, Tommy.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over, baby.
Price is right, me.
8.
We gotta have some
You're
more.
going 8-5.
8-5. 8-0-5.
Wait.
8.
No.
8
and
5
8
ounces.
pounds, 3 ounces.
Okay.
3 ounces.
Yeah.
Now, gang, I got to tell you something.
That's written down.
Sanchez is usually he's a breadwinner at this game.
Yeah.
For everybody
I
that's
got the skills
online,
to pay the bills.
for everybody that's online, I want to say, Such, here's a news note and a nugget. We used to gamble profusely.
No.
At classics, where we would throw some money in a hat. I don't mind saying it, and we would guess the total weight that the classic would take to win.
The winner's weight.
Sanders
Always.
nailed it to the ounce
To the
at the
ounce.
Red River.
No, that's hard.
No, it was in Florida.
Florida?
Yeah.
Toho?
The first wintertime classic.
Toho?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Clausen's weight?
Like
Yes, it was
53-12.
Clausen's.
53-12. Yeah.
He got it to the ounce.
That's very difficult
Oh,
to do.
that's when I knew he had a wizard sleeve.
Not sleeve of wizard, no.
Sorry.
Oh, we're going to get a wizard hat
Yeah.
photoshopped on him now.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
dead
that's
serious.
right,
I
yeah.
was so incredibly impressed with that. To the ounce. To the ounce. 2 days before the event
Oh,
began.
yeah, I would
Total blind pig.
Pretty sure you didn't buy cold ones that night either. Just FYI.
No, I
FYI,
didn't.
I didn't
No, I
forget.
still owe you that.
Sorry.
I'm working on that, trying to get a deal.
Trying to get a deal.
We used to do that on all the football games, and when we covered the college football games, and I was amazed. One guy, he actually won when he picked a tie. It's
Wow.
like, how often do you pick a tie in a college football game and he gets it? He nails it. Yes.
Holy
It's
cow.
like, what the?
Oh, I'd love to see a big old sugar panda come out of that.
Oh my gosh, have we been lucky today already? I think a little bit.
The dragon's lair. Hank Cherry said he lost one giant on Thursday at competition and two really, really big ones yesterday.
He attributed losing him the first day to the fact that he was so jacked up on adrenaline because he had seen so much in practice that he was like swinging too hard at everything. Which was, I guess now I know what he's talking about.
That is a target-rich environment. Tommy Sanders. Target-rich environment.
Target-rich. Yes, you're right.
Kind of pulling for Hank Cherry today.
Boy, I'm telling you,
Hank,
he
like
has
his whole
showed us
family.
something.
It's actually, I think his wife joined us here online yesterday.
All right. Yes, she did. She did. As
Love
a
it.
matter of fact.
But he ain't the only one catching today, my
Oh,
old
no,
friend.
no. How about our guy, Kevin VanDam, to start the day? What you called a major bonus fish. That is a nice one to get your day started.
He's going to need a few more bonus fish.
Yeah, he needs to get the regular, the rank and file fish started here pretty soon here this morning. He's still pretty much right on schedule. About the time when he started catching them yesterday. Chris Lane started catching them very early today. Put himself a limit in the boat in the first hour and change of fishing on this third day. Thanks, Jerry. Starting out with plan A. He's got a B and C to go to as well. Nothing big in the boat. He started today. Well, there's nothing big until this.
Exactly right, Tommy Sanders. We have got to see at least one of those every day thus far. And I'm not going to lie, we're a little bit ahead of schedule.
We are. That's a treat right there.
Wow.
We count ourselves as being very lucky this morning.
Love treat.
Oh, man. Take a look at the change that has wrought on the leaderboard there. Kevin VanDam started out with a 3-pound plus lead, and now he's almost 9 pounds behind. Our leader, Hank Cherry, one fish, that's what can do it for you on Toledo Bend. Chris Lane still waiting for the big one, a limit in the boat. Stephen Browning holding his spot. Ish Monroe crawling back into the top 5, getting a little something going there. We got so much more to go. Another 4.5 hours of Bassmaster Live coming your way. We're going to take a break. We will be right back momentarily. Bassmaster Live.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
29 pounds, 3 ounces!
Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lowrance winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the Ultimate Upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha V.A.S.S SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. V.A.S.S SHO. The pack is growing.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more. You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you. The competition is fierce, and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package, including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The Classic and each individual Elite Event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at BassmasterFantasy.com.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Bassmaster Live. Lot going on today, 3rd day of competition. What happened on the 2nd day of competition here at Toledo Bend? Well, Stephen Browning, down from Arkansas, knocking out 9 pounds, 5 ounces. The big bass of the day.
Exactly right. That was a big old melon head slouch. Not to be outdone, though, Kevin VanDam. Day number 1, 8 pounds and 5 ounces.
Oh, that's what this place is all about. One big one changes your whole outlook. Certainly has done the job for Hank Cherry.
I have a present for every one of our viewers, because everybody knows that I love presents, right? It's a present for you, Such. It's a present for you, Tommy Sanders.
Oh, boy.
And everybody. I'm even going to say it's for Chris Mitchell. Hi. Give it to me, Tommy.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
We say that to everybody.
Chris loves our slow motion music on during our breaks. Back out on the water, Bassmaster Live. Hank Cherry, gift coming soon.
Should have been right there.
I'm going to be the gift horse.
Should have been right there.
And gang, you are going to love this picture. You're not going to like it. You are going to love it. And it is not Photoshopped. I just got it. Hi, Chris.
You're just checking in with us today. Of course, Kevin VanDam started the day with the lead, 50 pounds even over a couple of days of competition. Lost the lead a little bit early today. Chris Lane put a quick limit in the boat. Nothing huge, but enough to take over. And then Hank Cherry Jr. just a few minutes ago put a giant somewhere in the region of 8 pounds. I'm thinking 8 pounds and 3 ounces or something like that in the boat.
It's
Easy,
okay,
cowboy.
Wait
A minute.
you know,
Hold on, shooter.
I got one decent one, okay one, over 3 in the boat, and 2 little ones. It's pretty much been, you know, a midday bite for me, and I think what happens is the sun gets high and the fish flock to the bushes. I've actually caught 2 on my frog this morning, which I thought that was going to be a good bite for me every day, and during the first couple days of the tournament it just never really panned out, and not really sure why. But then I'd go to this flipping, but you can see these bushes are starting to get some shade on them now, so I'm thinking anytime the bite should start getting good. I pretty much get a lot of my bites from about 9 o'clock on. You know, anything in the morning has seemed to have been a bonus, so we're going to get a little cloud cover today, and I think a little bit won't hurt me too bad, but if we get a lot of it, then I might have to change tactics and fish the frog a lot more. But from the flipping standpoint, I am basically flipping this big, heavy Tommy Biffle jig made by River to Sea with a missile baits destroyer right in the heart, you know, with a 65-pound Maxima braided line, and doing what I do best, setting the hook hard, fishing big baits for big fish.
Take a look what Ish Monroe did yesterday. And gang, one thing I want you to look at, you can really tell if you watch the weigh-ins. Oh
my gosh.
That was a good one.
24-10 yesterday. How about that?
If you really looked at the weigh-in yesterday, you could tell by the color of the bass that the guys were lifting up who was fishing shallow and who was fishing deep. If you looked at VanDam's bass and some of your other offshore anglers, very pale, locked up.
No, he didn't come off. Thought he came off. And that's a good one right there.
Uh-huh.
Not bad.
I want you to take a look at the color of this bass. Bassmaster Live.
Big jig, destroyer. That's the way we like them.
My point was, you could tell by the color of the paler fish that were offshore compared to the much, much darker fish shallow, and especially the ones that were being caught out of grass. I mean, pitch black.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. VanDam bringing them up from as deep as 25 plus.
Very pale.
Yeah.
Very pale, big melon head. Mm-hmm.
What just happened there?
Perfect timing.
Live on TV.
Live on TV. Huh. Like, oh, hey. It says what he's doing, and then shows it. We like it.
Monroe, the first ever winner on the Bassmaster Elite Series. That was more than a decade ago.
Basically, just like I called it, it's you flip in the bushes and you pick up, and you know it's been a couple different bites actually. That one right there was just I picked up and felt the head shake, and usually those have been the better ones. Or you get the ones that just knock the fire out of it as it's going down. And then you get the ones where you pitch in there and the line just keeps going. And you know that you're not, you know, any deeper than 3 feet. So if your line moves more than 3 feet, you better be setting the hook.
Well, that's a bulky jig.
What's a good size
River to Sea
one,
Tommy
yeah.
Biffle jig with a I'm going to get exactly his trailer on that, but I'm talking there's a lot of meat. Missile Baits D-Bomb Destroyer in the color Bruiser. Not scared to give it out. 3/4 ounce jig just for everybody at home.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Such. Is there an all-out assault on VanDam this morning?
Boy, I'm telling you.
Right? As far as our competition goes, and there's probably some other stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm fixing to say it's not just the anglers either. You might include us in that.
Amen.
No, we don't mean to.
We'll
we
get
don't
on
try
him.
to.
We have no problem getting on
No,
VanDam
we don't.
at all.
He's
Seriously. We'll light him up like a Christmas tree.
his pants on one leg at a time.
I'll give you that gift here shortly, Such. You'll really enjoy it, friend.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear all that. I really didn't want to hear all that.
Big fish. I don't know if we pointed that. That was the limit fish also for Hank Cherry.
I'll catch one right there before we're done.
Little bit of a degraded signal, but that's the way it is. I mean, he goes around one corner and it's back perfect again. So we'll just wait that out a little bit. Keep Hank sure. You don't want to take your eyes off what's going on with him right there. And obviously, he has plans to work this area over.
Look at his graph right. Look at VanDam's graph right there. Oh, I'd like to go back to that. Take a peek at how many fish were right under his boat, all worming around and whatnot.
Here we go.
And take a look at that big school on the bottom right there. And he made a remark yesterday. He was marking them all day long. And gives you a very good gauge of how deep he's fishing and how many he's around. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of those are really small fish. I mean, he caught like 30 on camera yesterday that were just babies.
And possibly a lot of them not even largemouth bass, right?
Right, and I mean locked up tighter than a drum.
Oh, look at that.
we're locked up around the horn.
Talk about the bottom of these places. Not every point is equal out there, the kind of places he's looking for, the points he had. I mean, obviously, a lot of this lake is just covered with, I mean, it's what's on you see on the bank there on the bottom. But there are other places which have a little bit different sort of features.
Exactly, and VanDam said he was actually looking for clean, hard spots on the bottom that did not have a lot of
timber and refuse. Yeah.
You know, he got hung up quite a few times yesterday, but the majority of what he was fishing was, you know, he was fishing areas, trying to get a little cell service, guys, for Ish and Hank Cherry right now.
Both of these are bonus pictures as far as I'm concerned. We did not have
About
much
the time of day
expectations.
yesterday, though, that we started running into some of those.
Yeah, people get up, start using data, you know,
Sure.
all around the lake. It is, I don't know. I have no idea whether that has anything to do with it. I'm just going to be a Saturday morning scientist for you here. How about that? Kevin VanDam. And again, lest you think he's fallen way behind, like we pointed out a couple of times already. Yesterday, it didn't really crank up for him till, well, about a little bit later than what we were at right now, like 9:30 Central Time. Gosh, there's a lot of boats out there.
Number 5. Maybe.
Got to see the fish catch anyway. 14-inch limit here.
Looked like a pretty solid keeper, though. I'm going to say
that'll make it.
Yeah,
It's going.
yeah,
He's a
got
shorty.
smaller in his
He's
hand.
a shorty. He's fat and short.
Number 5. 2-pounder. I just had 5 all week long. I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing. I guess having 5 is always a good thing, but yesterday it was a lot more just big bites. Overall, destroyer and the jig.
All right, let's talk about that catch now a little bit. They're showing it again.
Oh my goodness. Pretty much just, once again, shade. See that? You can see the shade. Shade. Little points, shade. Sun's starting to get high, starting to create the little shade pockets that we need, and it's pretty much going to be game on. And yes, I am doubling up here with Red Bull and 5-hour energy, but it's the trick is half of a 5-hour energy and a full Red Bull.
What?
It's what'll make you breathe like that all day, man. Look, I'm a master of what he just. Am I not?
Oh God, you are the king, and have been for years.
Well, thank you.
You're the pioneer.
I suck at everything else in life, but that right there, you are talking my language, friend.
Yeah. You're the Wayne. You're the Wayne Gretzky of caffeine use. I'll tell you that right now.
I have never seen something like this. It's like a double barrel right here.
Cannonball it. Cannonball it.
half a 5-hour energy and half a Red Bull. I'm not going to lie.
Hey.
Yeah, right? I would back off of that personally.
No, but I do a lot with the high school bass fishing clubs. You know, those guys are the future, and Bass has done a great job by, you know, getting these high school programs involved, you know, which leads to the college, which leads to a lot of guys being out here on tour.
Okay, we got some bad info. John Cruz sent me that picture
And
last
yes,
night.
I know where that came from, Z.
Wow, you guys can hear each other. That's amazing.
My question is for Z. Is it true you used to have a mullet?
It is, friend.
Could be, couldn't it?
That's right. If the producer would let me do one now, I would. John Cruz sent me that picture last night and said Ish was for hire to speak at graduations and proms. And I said, are you kidding me? He said, absolutely not. And then never replied again, which...
He was doing a prank on you.
Yes.
He wasn't. Yeah.
Well, Dave Mansu had him at Hemp Hill High School this Sunday night. He had a whole group of elites.
I'm assuming that's where that picture
I think that's where.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah.
And Dave Mansu reported that Ish probably thrilled the kids the most with his story about a fish he caught here in 2011. That he was sitting there having a bad year, bad tournament, and he remembered Ish's word of just fish the moment. He looked at his map, saw structure, and caught that 10-pound, 15-ounce.
I remember that well. That was a big turning point for a season at that tournament.
And just so you know, Tommy, that was not the gift for you two.
What about the gift?
I'm
like most everybody. I want my gift.
It's coming in a little bit. We're letting it breathe.
All right. Okay. Shade pockets.
You're awesome, dude. And Ish Monroe fishing not that far from Hank Cherry. I thought one thing that was really interesting. Ish Monroe is completely known as one of the best. I think he told us he is the best topwater fisherman as far as a frog goes on earth.
Uh-huh.
And unlike Chris Lane, he said he cannot get a bite on a topwater bait after 8 o'clock. Thought that was interesting. Or not, either or. Such, as we DB right here, double box, Kevin VanDam, Ish Monroe live. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Biggin.
Uh-oh. You're wrong.
No, you're wrong. Tree.
One fish in his live well?
Yes, one.
Here he come out.
Oh, don't lose that.
No. If it's a bass.
Oh,
freaking giant.
Oh. Oh.
Could be our share lunker.
Gigantor.
It's like a 10.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh. Wow. Oh.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about right there now.
Back in the lead.
Careful with
Can
the
y'all
hook.
back up, please? That's what we're looking for.
Wow. That was over 8.
Yeah, that was.
That was over 8.
Yes, yes, sir. We'll take the above on
Thank
that
you,
one.
Hummingbird.
All right. Don't hook yourself. Get back in there.
Careful.
Right? Yeah.
Careful,
Don't
little
touch that bait.
Careful, little cowboy. Oh my gosh! I just want to see it jump again.
I think we missed that part. We'll play it again. See that? That was.
Oh.
The size of the mouth on this one is just takes your breath away.
Looked like he went to a smaller crankbait. I'm going to say 6XD.
Yeah, it did
that
look
was
smaller.
not the 10. Looked like that was the barfish color.
Mm.
Not sure. We'll try to get a gauge on that for. Oh my gosh. The entire studio went silent. Rarity.
Welcome. Oh my gosh! I was really.
Wow.
I mean, you kind of thought he's got a catfish or something there, till he.
It absolutely did.
I mean, and he didn't seem to be until that jump. We got to see the jump again, or just a head shake out of the water.
Oh my gosh!
That
Look
is
at the eyeballs.
fine.
I'm gonna. Oh, melon head slouch. Gosh.
Oh man.
Yay!
That's running close to yesterday's bid. That's very much the 9.5 range.
That is over. I'm not going to say over 10. That is over 9. Yay!
Man, we have seen it this morning.
Wow.
Take a look. See this head shake. See this head come out of the water here.
Oh,
man. Tail walk.
I'm going to ask you a favor. Can we replay that for the next 4 months?
We'll get in and out of every segment with that. That was fun.
He's a little serious right there, Jack.
Man.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Bass Track is calling that an 8.5.
We got about-
8.8.
We got 2 for 14.
He's calling it a 10.
Yeah, 2 for 14, and it says 12-14.
Wow. Wow.
According to Bass Track numbers.
Oh, that goes a long ways.
Yeah, it does.
I'd say.
Yeah.
It's kind of the deal,
Mr.
yeah.
Captain Obvious.
Looks as big as that 9.5 Browning had yesterday.
That was awesome.
How many people are leaving boat docks now at Toledo Bend headed right there? How many more?
That was cool.
Can't blame
Fun
them.
morning.
Can't blame them.
I was really, really lucky to get him out of that brush.